Good evening. Welcome to Astrology Throwdown tonight. Been studying astrology hours, trying to understand what is going on with George Ivan Van Morrison's natal chart. Wow. And we've been watching videos of the touring that's been going on. Elvis Costello and I'm going to say all the members of the band. David Farrager, Charlie Sexton, Pete Thomas, Steve Knight. Awesome band. I admire this band a lot just for being artists and being courageous. Wow. I just been loving the new performances. I can't wait to see more. It is crying shame that someone like me is permanently quarantined and I guess can never see music again, can never travel again. My entire future's been shut down by a BS story that a banker in England and his oligarch friends and all the minions that support him for the money that they get from him. It's all because the financial system is so under the thumb of one banking dynasty. So the rest of us have to beg to live. And that situation needs to change. Okay? I shouldn't be in this situation because I had the temerity to be honest. The reason I had the temerity to be honest is because there's no future under this dynasty. So I figured that they're going to finish this off soon. It's very clear. Some things are very obvious. If you turn the television off, you can find out that we live under total complete fascism. They're coming up with every idea they can to get away with killing us. It shouldn't be that hard to see. I know it's hard to believe that anyone is like that, but they're like that. And it really does come down to a scarcity mentality. They just don't feel there's enough for everybody, and they have to get rid of us because there's just never enough for them. And you see there's never enough for them, no matter how many mansions and palaces and planes and stacks of gold they have. It's never enough. And that's the situation we're in right now because it's just never enough for this one banking dynasty. They never feel secure. They're never wealthy enough. They never have enough control. They never own enough of our resources. So they have to, kill and get more. And the wars that they're constantly fomenting through the media, which they control, that is homicidal. Anyone who's pushing wars in the media, that's homicide. And I did go very deep into a book by Udo Ufkadi, where he exposed how this dynasty took over the media in Germany. Was it ever not in control of the media in Germany? You see, so much of World War II was a BS story. Look into it. And Udo Ufkadi told his story. And it is a story that I share with Elvis Costello in the sense that if you want to have any success, you had better serve that banking dynasty. And if you don't serve that banking dynasty, well, then you get blacklisted and quarantined like I am. That shouldn't be the big choice in this world, to serve that banking dynasty or to be blacklisted to an entire class of people. Or who am I even blacklisted to? Obviously, the media cannot talk about any of the stories I break and cannot talk about anything that I'm involved in. Well, guess what? Say goodbye to that beautiful media machine you guys used to have. Say goodbye because it's gone. No more credibility. Oh, how are you guys going to foment all those wars? We'll see, okay? Because this thing can collapse. And I've been showing every single day that we have the transits for it. Pluto in Capricorn, regime change. That is not a joke. Pluto in Capricorn can and will take that dynasty down because the point of Pluto is to remove what is no longer necessary. And what's no longer necessary is that banking dynasty. Everybody knows it. What do they do for us? What do they take from us? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's one banking dynasty with a lot of terrified, blackmailed people around it. Okay? And they all did 9/11. Okay? All of them were involved in 9/11. Okay, so all of them did 9/11. Why? Because that was one of their biggest jobs. And they were all involved in lying about this last big one. Okay, because it was such a big operation. They had to get all of them involved. They had to get everyone's hands as dirty as possible because that's how that organization operates. They can't trust each other. So they have to commit lots and lots and lots and lots of crimes together. So if one talks, they can all tell on him, or they can just all tell on each other. They do not trust each other. It's all in By Way of Deception by Victor Ostrowski. That's the book to find out exactly how this banking dynasty operates. Okay. And he's implying it left and right, what he's trying to say. So, respect to Victor Ostrowski. I like his paintings. I like the way he writes. I like his talent. I like his courage. I like his daring. And he's got this panache to him. It's cool. He's really cool. Based on, we spent a long time talking about Ostrowski, so I did become a fan of his. And he is truthful, and he's nasty too. He's one of those truthful, nasty people. We've got a couple around here. Anyway, so much to learn, but we have learned so much. And it is wrong to allow ourselves to be continually mistreated, degraded, humiliated, abused. It should not be a choice between money or quarantined, blacklisted life. Okay? I was offered the banking dynasty BS story offer. Okay? They tell you, they hope you'll be an idiot and they hope you won't see through them. Okay? But basically the deal is you go along with our BS or else. And I took or else. And I think it's so interesting that someone took or else. And I'm going to say this right now. The way they act, people don't take or else. Okay? Because I'm telling you, they were like, ooh, you're going to see what we're going to do to you. And I've been sitting here watching it, watching them show me their awesome power. And how dare I for one moment go against them? They are the most conceited people imaginable. Okay? Conceited. You have to be so conceited to feel that you deserve to do that to everyone else. Imagine their mentality. See, they have a scarcity mentality. They think they have to kill everyone because there's not enough. That's what they're being told. That's what they think. There is enough. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all their sick stories about the weather and how there's not enough. There's not enough. I'm tired of them. I don't want to hear from them anymore. And they need to stop fomenting wars. They need to stop killing people. They killed my mother, and now I'm under quarantine because I don't want to take the liquid that murdered my mother. This is outrageous. How is this still going on? Oh my goodness. See, I'm yelling again. But we have the transits, okay? We have the transits to blow through this. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Uranus in Taurus, and it's moving through really slowly, okay? So money will be transformed and revolutionized, okay? That is right there. And there is a huge stellium in Taurus right now. Looking at my chart. Okay, so I wrote everything out on the astrology report on the blog. It's very interesting watching all the planets transiting Taurus. Okay, so the North Node, so sense of destiny. This is the focus of where things are going. Taurus. What is Taurus? It's possessions, it's beauty, it's art, culture, the things that make you feel comfortable. It's how you make your house beautiful. It's very feminine, warm, comfortable, lush, flowery kind of energy, okay? And it's money. It is values. It is so important right now to appreciate the right things, okay? Being a collaborator and masking fascism, okay? I hear they're throwing their celebrities back into their psyops. Any celebrity jumping into their psyops right now, oh, so not smart, if you ask me, okay? Because I know that these celebrities are having their perceptions altered because I know how they do it. They surround you, they shut everything out, and then they show you things that aren't true. It's what they do to everybody. It's their MO. So any celebrities running into these psyops right now, these war fomenting psyops, not smart. Wow, not smart. Wow, not smart. And I know people don't think I'm smart either, but not smart, because it is crumbling. But they are very good at getting people to perceive things the wrong way. Yeah, watch out for these psyops, because the people are not falling for it anymore. So these people are going to have their names destroyed forever. They're going to be like the last days Adolf Eichmann people, okay? Because this is a very serious, murderous, genocidal dynasty we're under. I don't know how anybody could run in and distract for them right now. But whatever, by all means, I'm sure there's a lot of money involved, or maybe some delicious drugs, or that's what I always assume, because I know they like to get people hooked on drugs. And if you're hooked on drugs enough, you want those drugs, because it's going to hurt if you don't have them. And I think a lot of celebrity culture is running on those kind of drugs. Because how else do they get people to go along with these horrible stories that they put out? And they're so untrue, and it's so humiliating for these people. I figure they have to be on like heroin or something, because what else explains such self-destructive behavior? It would already have to be someone who's destroying themselves with drugs. Anyway, that's the way I usually imagine it, because I can't understand why people are still masking fascism when it's so obvious to everyone what's really going on. I was even going through astrology sites today, and astrology sites are like the most, in with the oligarchy. But what this person was saying, it was very interesting. Usually, everybody pretends that the oligarchy's right, or whatever they want to push, and the astrologers go along with just like everybody else. But I was reading about Pluto sextile Neptune, okay? And I was looking at all the patterns with Neptune sextile Pluto. And then I found out, and I didn't even know this, that people from 1940, which is when George Ivan Morrison was born, all the way to 2030 are all going to have sextile Neptune sextile Pluto. Like, all of us have it, and we'll continue to have it and have had it. So it's this aspect that's been going for so long, because of how slowly Neptune moves and how slowly Pluto moves. I guess they're moving in a way where it's taking them it's 100 years or something to so anyway, what were they saying? They were the writer of the astrology article was saying, isn't it interesting that there's this BS virus? He didn't put it like that, but he was saying it, and that happened under like publicists and advertising people that had that in their charts. Oh, things are getting honest, right? When you see that in just an astrology site that's out there, what is that? A sextile between Pluto and Neptune, okay? So Pluto is power, and Neptune can be illusion and confusion. Okay, so power to confuse to get power. That was a really good way of putting it. So I have it in my chart. We all have it in our chart. And look at what they're doing. They're lying to us their whole lives. And that transit is going our whole lives. And they're doing it for power. They're creating illusions. Nothing but. That's all they're doing is creating illusions. The whole world is fake, because they've turned it into a fake world. That's an illusion they created for their power. I thought that was a really good point. And the guy or girl had to make the point that we're living in this total illusion for power nightmare. He had to make the point. Everybody wants to pretend everything's fine, I guess. But you can't really talk about astrology without talking about reality. So I do feel a lot of support from the the astrologers who are aligned with the Most High, I feel a lot of camaraderie from them, because there's not that much BS in astrology. It really is very truthful. The energies are what they are. And so there is a truth in astrology. You always worry that they're running tricks or something, but there's also a truth there. And it's very interesting that there are very good people in astrology, and there are very not good people in astrology. It attracts both. But that's astrology. You can play things the good way or the bad way. But you should play them the good way ultimately in astrology, not just for morality. It's because if you are exploitative and predatory, it'll come back and get you. It'll do that in astrology too. If you work hard, you will be rewarded. Sometimes you won't, but anyway, there's a lot of philosophy to it. So I looked at George Ivan's Pluto in Leo, and this is another one of those slow transit generational things that affect a lot of people. So anybody George Ivan's age or Elvis's age are going to have Pluto in Leo. They both have Pluto in Leo. And it's kind of interesting because think of all of the cool people who had that, okay? So that would be Mick Jagger, that would be the Beatles, that would be all of them, all of those exciting performers that we love, that we're always putting on the blog. All these incredible, I hate to say the word baby boomer, I just don't like that word, but that generation is the Pluto and Leo generation, and I've had my issues with them for sure. But Pluto and Leo, they want, and I looked it up, they want power, but they want power in a very grandiose, establishment kind of way. They're okay with tradition. They just want to be first, and they want attention, and they can be very, it's Leo. I'm trying to describe Leo. That kind of, me first, but there's enough for everybody kind of feeling. And the sun and the August energy. So they do have a grandness to them. A lot of the people of that generation. I'm thinking of all those musicians, those English musicians that I like. They're all going to be Pluto and Leo. And now people my age are Pluto and Libra. So what is that? We want to change culture. We want to transform relationships. It's a different vibe. We want to get along. It's funny because there is a selfishness to that generation. I mean, obviously, is the next generation. We know about it. Whoa. Wow, that's interesting. Wow. My father was like always, I'm a Leo, I'm a Leo, I'm a Leo. He was so proud of himself. It's funny. Anyway, so Pluto and Leo in the third house. What is the third house? I'm talking about George Ivan's chart. The third house is the house of communications. So he's a Pluto and Leo communications. That's perfect. So that fits great. And then we looked at the aspects it's making with Neptune. Okay, so now we're back to Pluto, Neptune, like I was just talking about. So Pluto and Neptune can be the power to trick and to get power from tricking. That can be Pluto and Neptune. That would be a very negative use of it. Okay, or Pluto and Neptune could be the advancement of spirituality to something real, because Pluto likes to be real, and Pluto likes to make advancements, and it likes to strip away the junk. Okay, and Neptune's so empathetic. So you could play it their way, which is to trick everybody for power. That's their way. And it could be our way, which would be go to a higher level. If they want to follow us, they're going to have to go to a higher level, because we're not going to stay with them anymore. You see what I mean? It's the same exact energy. And that's why they want all astrology all for themselves. So we can't, but we can. We could, nope. Because if we see them coming, they can't do anything. Oh my goodness. Please, please save us, everybody. Save us. This is save me, save everybody. We can't take it anymore. Please cut the strings. Whoever is near the strings, whatever guy is guarding those strings, that's the problem. Cut those strings. That guy did 9/11. That guy definitely did 9/11. Who's ever standing right by the strings, that guy did 9/11. Try it. It's going to work. Okay? I have real solutions. I do. We can get free. You can cut those strings. There is a way. Truly, look within. You'll get the answer. Field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. That's true. If you hear to build that field, they will come. Something like that. All right, so we did go into this whole topic. George Ivan, I wrote out, copy and pasted all of these sites pertinent to George Ivan's situation. He is a healer. He has so many aspects between Pluto and Neptune. And then I went into my chart with him, with George Ivan. I went through my chart with Elvis. And then I looked for all the Pluto-Neptune connections in the synastry. And there were a lot. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is that this is all about the transformation of spirituality, or the transformation of empathy, the transformation of how we interact with each other. Like now we're telepathic, see? That's a transformation in spirituality that's happening right in front of you. And we have all of these aspects between, much more than normal, between Neptune and Pluto. I every day I'm like proving things. This is really being backed up by astrology. So I put my own chart up, and I was showing that I have Neptune sextile Pluto. Okay, and George Ivan also has that. And then I put the synastry between me and George Ivan, and we have Pluto sextile Neptune. On top of the Pluto sextile Neptune that everybody has, are Pluto and Neptune specifically are on top of it. So that's a pretty strong repetition. And that's what I just told you. It could be the power to trick the world for more power, which is how they used it. Or it could be the way we could use it, which is the power to blow out of here, leave them in the dust. They can follow us if they can act right. See what I'm saying? There's a way to handle this, okay? It's cut the strings, get to a higher level spiritually, leave them in the dust. They can follow if they want, if they can get there. See? Then there's no horrible arguments with them. You see? Energetically, we can blow past them. They're at a very low, super low level. It's not hard to blow past them. That's why they have to constantly nag us and frighten us and terrorize us. It's because it's so easy to blow past them. So if you just stop listening to them and cut the strings, and whoever's standing in front of the strings, he did 9/11. He should go to jail for doing 9/11. Remind him of that. Remind him that law enforcement could come back into business anytime for things like 9/11. Okay, because if there's enough people get on my side, there is going to be trials for 9/11. You see? Does everybody want 9/11 to be the rulers of the world? Because that's how it is. The 9/11 terrorist runs the world. Okay? So if anybody wants to get on my side and actually do a real trial for 9/11, guess what? That would handle our Banker from England problem. You see? You see what simple solutions we have? Just a trial for 9/11. Just that one simple little thing. Why isn't there anyone in New York who wants to do this? See? Because it's in New York that it happened. The people killed were in New York. They have a responsibility to New York to do that trial. Ooh, I'm yelling again. See? There's a responsibility to do this for New York. This is unbelievable. And if you just do the trial, guess what? The banker in England gets dealt with. And everybody around him, all of them did 9/11, okay? Everybody who is trying to kill us right now did 9/11. One solution. So easy. Amazing, right? But see, that would be about transforming our spirituality. There would have to be people with a spirituality in New York, with a heart in New York, with a will to save their soul, to save us. There is somebody in law enforcement in New York State right now who is standing by those strings. And that person is betraying us. That person knows exactly who he is. And we can find out everything about him very easily. Okay? That is a very specific person in New York State who is keeping us from having that trial. And if we have that trial, we will be saved. That is the solution. Okay? Anyway, I can't talk about astrology anymore. That is the truth. New York is owed a real trial about that. Just going to let them do a satanic ritual in the middle of Manhattan like that. And look at the situation we're in. And these are New Yorkers who are doing this. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness, I'm too angry. I have to stop. I'm sorry. I have to stop. I'm too angry. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Good night.